Hey everyone. So I had this really great idea that I would do a whole 3-part review on all the Gundam Seed Robot Damashii figures, the Strike, the Buster, and then when it came out, the Duel. But Bandai decided to push back the Duel's release, and a lot of people have been asking me to review the Buster, and I'm really tired of just telling them to wait and hold on. I'm just going to review it now because I've had a lot of time to check this figure out, play with it, do whatever, just to be able to give a really good review and give what I thought. And some of it's good, some of it's bad, but I'll let you guys watch and find out. So without further ado, here is the review for the Robot Damashii Buster Gundam. Now, without the guns, this guy's articulation is really good. He can do many things any Robot Damashii should do. Of course, he's going to have 360 in the arms, like so, and double joints with a ball-jointed hand, as you can see. Unfortunately, his hands have the same problem that the Strike has, and I don't think I've reviewed it yet or uploaded the video. The way they're constructed for the ball-joint hands is that they're two separate pieces, and one piece for the ball joint, right up top here, is on one side. So say you bend this guy the wrong way or he's stiff right out of the box, there's a good chance you can break that ball joint right there. And that's the only thing that bugs me. Of course, he gets little hinge flaps right here, shows the missiles. Ball jointed head, and of course he can go 360. I just don't want to do it. These little flaps right here, whoops, stuck. These can move out about that much. The arms, wow, you gotta bend them. Can go out that much. They can even go a little bit higher up, but they can't reach too far. Of course, when you put it back down, you gotta deal with the armor as well, the shoulder armor. The backpack wants to come off for some reason. There you go. It's only inserted through a peg right there, as you can see, and kind of wants to come out pretty easily every so often. The shoulder, you can see right there, it swings out just ever so much, but it doesn't swing back. You can do 360 with the torso right there, and the skirt armor in front is all separate, meaning he can lift his leg up really high, as you can see. Has double joints in the knees, and this knee actually moves separately. And of course, ball joint and standard articulation for any Robot Damashii in the ankles. His ankle armor is on a ball joint in the middle, and it can move all sorts of ways. Let me try and put this all back down. His skirt armor on the side is separate as well. Can move that high up. The back skirt armor, separated. So you can move his leg back all the way. Oh, actually you can't. Trying to think, what else? That's pretty much it. In the torso though, I'm sorry. He does have some standard articulation. He has articulation inside the torso right there up top, and a little bit on the bottom as well. There's a ball joint. Of course, once you plug in the backpack, and again, it's wanting to fall out, you'll attach the little hinges onto the backpack for the rifle parts, or I'm sorry, the guns, and it will really kind of tighten up this figure's torso ever so much. And that's pretty much it. There's a lot of great articulation on this, and pretty much any standard Seed figure. The Seed figures, all the 5 Gundams are going to share pretty much the same articulation because they all have a base body that are all the same. The Strike, the Duel, and the Buster have the most common bodies. So you're going to pretty much get all the same articulation with these guys. For accessories, you really just get the bare bone minimum for this guy, because, well, he doesn't come with anything to begin with, hardly at all. So, of course, you're going to get his 2 famous guns, as you can see. You'll get a number of different hands. He already has his fist hands on. 2 open hands, as you can see right here. Really huge, actually. If you look at the fingers, kind of fat. Anyways, you'll get, whoops, almost dropped them, and I did, 2 trigger finger hands, as you can see there. And then this was something really weird, but you'll get 2 beam saber holding hands, and I guess this is just to hold the handles of the guns that aren't equipped with triggers. So there's these. You'll also get 2 little, oh, what are these called? Little shield sides. You know, the pieces of armor that go on the side of the shoulders right here. Now these have the little holes in them, so you can do the whole hardpoint system, whatever it's called, that Robot Damashii tried to pull off with the Zaku and the Goof and everything. So say you have some missile pods from the Zaku 2 Robot Damashii. You can go ahead and stick them on these and then attach these onto the Buster Gundam. Really not too necessary in my book because, well, the Buster Gundam never had them to begin with. So off of those. Now, if you've purchased the Strike Robot Damashii, then you'll know that all Gundam Seed figures, for some reason, are coming out with their own attachment stand. And I think that's a really great idea on Bandai's part. Unfortunately, they're not doing it with all the Robot Damashis. Anyways, this Buster Gundam's stand is green. It comes in 3 parts, of course, to fit inside that nice little tiny box. There's the base here. There's this part right here, the little protruding green part, and then the clear stand that you attach the Buster Gundam onto. As you can see, there's a peg right there. There's no black separate piece to attach onto the top here that we always see the Robot Damashii have. Instead, there's just a hole inside the Buster Gundam's ass, and you attach it to this peg right here, and he just stands on there. So again, really cool. Wonder what color the Buster Gun, or not the Buster, the Dual Gundam is going to be coming with. And yeah, let's just move on. Because the weapons on their own are pretty spectacular, I have to show them by themselves. It's really hard to show you guys all the stuff on these guns when it's attached to the Buster. But anyways, of course you get 2, and they have handles coming out. This handle is always going to be protruding out, while the handle at the bottom here you have to actually pull out, and there we go. So it's pulled out, hinges out pretty well. There's a ball joint socket right there to attach to the Buster. This one also has a hinge that swings out, and you have to use your nails a little bit. And there it is, right there at the bottom. This one right here, it's always going to be extended out. And again, another ball joint right there to attach the Buster. Now, there's 2 different ways you can attach these 2 guns, and it makes this thing pretty long. Of course, there's the standard. You put the blunt one right here with the sharpshooter one. And there you go. So that's one long gun right there. And then the other way you can do this is you detach the tip of this gun right here. Go ahead and put that down. And then you can go ahead and slide it into this one. And there you go. So now you have a kind of a more powerful scattered shot, as opposed to when it's reversed and it's a much more powerful single shot. So, whoops, there we go. Now, let me just go ahead and attach them to the Buster Gundam. See how they look. One more thing before I show you the guns on the Buster itself. I have to warn you about this because I've noticed this problem with a few people. No breakage yet, but this happened to me and mine broke. When you have the backpack attached, you're going to have these hinges that attach the Buster gun to the Buster Gundam and then to the guns themselves. And they have these little pegs, and the pegs insert into the backpack themselves. Now, this is a lot like the MSIA, where, you know, if something was attached, you know, it would make the whole figure stiff and everything. Now, I have no problem with that, but unfortunately, me not playing with the figure so much or handling it, I completely forgot, and when I pulled mine out, on one of the hinges pegs broke. It actually broke off inside the hole there. I already got it out. But that's just a little bit of a warning. You guys got to remember that these have pegs in them and they attach into the backpack. So, you know, don't pull them out, you know, this way. Pull them out this way. Okay? So just so you know. So here is the Buster Gundam with his rifles in hand. And let me just say, just like the MSIA version, it is very difficult for me, anyways, to put the rifles in hand and make this figure look good. As you can see, this one really is super long, super duper long, while this one's not too bad itself. I have both trigger finger hands in, and they're both holding the bottom handle. And maybe I'll do a little bit more of a closer look at the Buster Gundam itself, and see a little bit more of the detail in it. And it's overall a great looking figure. I mean, not a bad price for it. Doesn't look too bad at all. And yeah, see, that's what you get when you have long rifles. Now here's my attempt to combine the 2 weapons. And let me just say that the Buster Gundam's a great figure, but unfortunately the backpack, I know this isn't involving the guns, The backpack always seems to want to fall off, so let me just warn you guys about that right now. There's a short peg that's supposed to insert into the buster, and it makes it really hard to stay in most of the time. That being said, you have these hinges that, unlike the MSIA version, actually hold the guns quite securely. The only bad part is it's hard to move them around, because once you get this guy out, it's really stiff and everything, and you got hinges mixed with ball joints, and it's just kind of complicated in a way. So, and you got to do it ever so slightly that you don't bend the plastic, warp it, and break it. Another thing is that my Buster's joints are so tight that some of the double joint action won't work. And I know I already showed the double joint in the elbow there, but for some reason it's not wanting to bend so that I could hold this side of the rifle on the handle with this arm. So yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Other than that, I mean, it can pull off the poses, it's just you gotta work at it. And I hate doing that so much. And now it's time to wrap up this review with just my little final thoughts. The Buster Gundam, like I said, is a great robot Damashii, and it's at a really good price right now to make it just affordable to pretty much anybody, whether you're a fan of Seed or the Robot Damashii line or just Gundam in general. There are some bad points for this figure, however. The shoulder armor right here, it makes it very difficult to maneuver the guns and not get them caught by the armor. Not only that, the guns are hard to maneuver around and stuff, and the biggest problem I have so far is that there's a kind of a weight issue. Once you put the guns up front, the Gundam kind of wants to lean forward and just kind of fall. The other bad part is that the backpack, and it's already wanting to fall off again right now. As you can see, it's very, very loose, and like I said, it has a very short peg that's supposed to insert into the back of the Gundam. And when you're fiddling around with this figure, especially with the guns, and if you like to play with your toys, that pops out really easily. So that's a big annoyance. Overall, it's still a good figure, but if I had to choose between Strike, Buster, and Duel, I would rather choose to buy those two first than this one. Still, good figure, just poor choices in design. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'm sorry I didn't get to show the rifle more, but like I said, this thing is really difficult to pose unless it's just standing still like that. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching the review of this Robot Damashii. I'm sorry it took so long to do, and stay tuned for more. Take care, you guys, and oh, be sure to subscribe if you like what you saw. Alright, take care, you guys. Bye-bye.